Oh,
Feels good. Feels good. Oh, yeah. 4, 3, 2. Man, what is up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. Everyone, welcome back to the Awakened Soul Show with Aaron, Scotty, and Lucas Mack. Man, this feels good. Man, we got big things coming this week.
Yeah, we're growing. It's nice. We're looking for. We got a couple new platforms in the mix that we're going to start expanding to get the message out a little further. And the guests that are coming in, it's like we're not doing Fridays anymore because we got a backlog of guests who want to come on, tell their stories, share their awakening journey, share their stories. So we're going to start opening it up throughout the week. Tomorrow, we are having Nick Lightning on the show, and the producer of the documentary, Frank Petka. They'll be on together. And if you don't know who Nick Lightning is, which I'm sure you don't yet,
Yeah.
check out my Facebook page, my Instagram story. I put the trailer up. We can't share the documentary yet, but Lucas and I were honored to watch the documentary. I mean, I laughed, I cried.
Yeah.
I watched it again with my wife. It reminded me of my time making Peanut Butter Falcon. And just it's so heartfelt. And I think there's a Nick Lightning inside all of us that is just ready to come out. So watch this documentary, 20 minutes of just pure joy. Lucas, what did you feel? You watched it, right?
It's so beautiful. The society that we have come from, and I will say come from because it is shifting drastically, but the society that we've come from, culture, in the ego world puts judgment on people who we don't deem as normal, as less than. And here is when you see this beautiful soul tomorrow, the exuberance, the love, the gratitude, the joy. I was so struck by that documentary, similar to Peanut Butter Falcon, similar to Thad's sister. Just, man, when you are grateful for what you have and you don't concern yourself with what you don't have, life opens up, and then everything resonates at that level that you are at. And that's what I took from that. Like, he's not concerned what he doesn't have. He's so grateful for what he does have and what he creates. And I was like, this is a model for living. This is life. This is life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what, and he'll tell some of the stories. I know he grew up bullied his entire life.
Yeah.
And I know Zach had a lot of that too. And I'm sure Miranda has dealt with that as well. And because anybody different, it's like they put him in that corner and go, oh, don't go near that because it's different.
Right.
And I remember making the Peanut Butter Falcon. I've realized I was like, everybody in the world would be so lucky to have a friend with Down syndrome.
Yes.
Instead of casting them into the corner and going, different, I don't know, weird, make fun of, embrace that person. Like,
yes,
Zach taught me what love was, because I thought I knew. I didn't know until I met Zach. They have so much to teach us. And then Nick Lightning watching that and him just creating his own world and the smile on his face and, bully what you want. But I realized why people bully. It comes from our ego. It's a place of judgment.
Yep.
And I know myself, like I grew up in Philly. I still work on judgment. It's a little different now. Like I don't pick on people or anything. I embrace people's differences, but we still do. Like even now with everything going on, there's that little moment of judgment. Like, oh, how could they do it that way? Right. Because there is a division going on, and you, regardless of what side you're on, you're thinking, well, why don't they see it like I see it? And that's fine. But when you meet Nick and you see that he is unapologetically Nick Lightning, fully authentic, fully himself, if you're not willing to express the Nick Lightning in you, then you're going to try to pull that guy down off that stage.
Yeah.
That's why he was getting bullied, because the ego said, how dare you go up there? You don't even know how to play the real guitar.
Right.
Like, How
Right.
dare you go up there without being a professional and a primed and Nick says, no, this
Mm,
is who I am.
yeah.
And he's having fun and he's bringing joy to people's lives. And that's we he gives us all permission to do the same. Just be who you are. Find your inner Nick Lightning. So
You know,
watch tomorrow and find out what that looks like.
totally, totally. You know how conversations with God, he talks about be, do, have, and so much of the world tries to be or tries to do so that they can have, so that they can finally be happy, or if they just did something, they can have something so they can finally be happy. And I was thinking while you're talking, like, in Dumb and Dumber, he's like, "Do you realize what you've done?" It's almost like in Ego, everyone who judges Nick, it was like, "Do you realize what you're doing?" And he's like, "Actually, I'm being."
Yeah.
And that they're trying to pull him down from that place of being, but in that beingness, man, he is full of joy and beauty. And so, yeah, tomorrow's going to be amazing with him. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch the documentary again tonight. It's so good, man.
Yes,
That's what we should be watching before bed.
for
You
sure.
know, not the news.
No, no.
Um, so that'll be tomorrow, and then Friday we have a double feature actually. So at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will have Alex the Comic. You can find him on Instagram at Alex the Comic. Watch one of his latest videos went viral. It was pretty funny. He was driving around in an SUV with a bullhorn, speaking his mind, just kind of calling out some of the spells going on. And I guess somebody didn't like it too much, and smashed a bike through the window. Which just goes to show, like, some people don't. Sometimes the truth hurts, and he wasn't reacting. He was just speaking freely. But it's pretty funny. Watch the video and then check out some of Alex's stuff. He's really funny, but here's the thing: he has a huge heart. He's coming from a place of love,
Yeah,
and he will do anything to spread the message of love.
yeah.
And that's all we want to do. That's all we're asking for in this world is love.
You know what I'm struck by that video? It's never the perpetrator that I mean, growing up in the house that I grew up in, the abuse that I grew up in, it's not the perpetrator that I get irritated with, although because it's obvious, reprehensible behavior. It's everyone else. I'm like, say, like, scream. I was teaching we had a parenting opportunity yesterday, and because some kids hurt them and hit them, and my kids didn't do anything about it except say stop kind of quietly. And I said, you bring attention to those people. You scream I don't care if you scream as loud as you can. And people are like, what are you doing? You bring attention to these perpetrators. You let it rip. Because the not to speak, Dietrich Bonhoeffer wrote in concentration camp, and Dietrich Bonhoeffer was the last person that Adolf Hitler ordered to be executed. It didn't even need to. They had already lost, and he ordered Bonhoeffer to be killed. But Bonhoeffer wrote, not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. And so I'm struck, and I can't wait to talk to Alex, is watching that video, everyone just watching and filming this guy totally vandalize and destroy his vehicle without saying, like, knock it off. Like, he just get up. Using our voice. We have forgotten to use our voice, and it's always like, turn the eye, don't look. I'll tell you right now, in my life, I will not be a German allowing Germany to turn to Nazi Germany. I am going to speak, and I can't wait to talk to him about what he was doing speaking, and then the contrast of that guy damaging his vehicle and other people just.
Right. But his approach too, a lot of people, well, if they speak from a place of anger, you're just inviting that it's creating more of a problem. It's perpetuating the issue.
Yeah.
He speaks from a place of love, which I like to think that we are as well. And
yeah, absolutely.
That's the point. And love is strong, and love will conquer.
Right.
And some people might have stared and looked away, but it was reaching their subconscious. And that's important now. And because you're seeing people are waking up left and right, even though the mainstream media will never, ever, ever admit it.
Right.
people are standing up finally.
Yeah.
And it's just in the nick of time, it seems, as well. So
Just
thank you, Alex, for what you're doing.
Just in the nick lightning of time.
Just in the nick lightning of time. Oh man, it's gonna be so fun. After Alex at noon Pacific time, we're gonna have Mitzi Purdue, who I'm not gonna tell you too much. You can look her up, Mitzi Purdue, and her father was the co-founder and president of the Sheraton hotel chain.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not going to say much more is because she's going to be sharing stories that have never been shared publicly with us on Friday. They sound fascinating, and I cannot wait for her to elaborate on them. She's also created a foundation for human trafficking, which is very important. So look up Mitzi, look up her foundation. We'll have her Friday, and that's going to be our week of guests: Nick Lightning, Frank Petka, Alex the Comic, and Mitzi Purdue.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing. And the souls that we're attracting, I mean, we just look back, Mark and Crystal, Jen, Matt, Elon, everyone that's come on, everyone's starting to see, and I think this is maybe the purpose and the greater purpose of what we're doing is the narrative that people hear from the news and the mainstream and all these things. We're showing a different perspective of really beautiful souls and sovereign beings and people that are not living in fear and people that are not even submitting to this narrative, and just to hold space. And there is a whole other world that we get to explore. And these people that we're bringing on, they're amazing because they're all like us. We're free to do whatever we want to do right now, however we want to be. But when we give our energy to that division, the duality, the matrix, we miss the beauty of humanity. We miss this connection. So I'm so excited, brother, for what we're doing, and that we get to show a different perspective for people to live.
Yeah, that's all. Look, I get it. Fear is like a drug, you know, and it's a potent one. It's almost like cocaine at a Hollywood party. If somebody's doing it, they want everybody to do it. So they just like, how dare you not do this? Right. You know, and we're out here just living freely and breathing fresh air and community and children playing together, and everyone wants that.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting in your house, you look at that and you go, how dare you? You better get in here. You better be afraid of this thing like we are.
Right.
But you don't have to. At any given moment, you could drop that and say, instead of pulling them in, why don't I go out and live the life that I was intended to live as well?
Right.
You are safe. Everything is in your mind. It's a vibration. You are safe. You are healthy. You are in control of your health, not someone outside of yourself.
Right.
And that's what we're starting to learn. And I understand in 2-3 weeks in, that was hard to believe. But now we're a year in, and a lot of people are waking up to the fact that we are more powerful than we've ever been told. We've just been a little misguided, and that's okay. But once you find out how powerful you are, it's hard to control you. You can't be sold things that you don't need. Right. And everything's about commerce in the marketplace.
Yeah.
You're not going to have this empty void that you need to fill off of Amazon products or whatever.
Right.
You know, and it's interesting. And there's a learning curve. You know, it's not just like you're going to go, oh, I get it now, and I'm going to go out. Like, this took years and years and years.
Right.
I know we were just blessed enough to start going through it well before this happened.
Yeah.
So it kind of hit it in stride, and now collectively we're being faced with a massive trauma, and it's time for us all to come together in unity. Right. And with that, we can share the energy of love. Love will heal all.
Yeah. Yeah. Always. Oh, brother, it's exciting. I'm excited to do this. And I think this is like feeding the bank of emotional well-being moving into the next few months. Because everyone, if you're not prepared for, whatever you're being fed right now, if you're not prepared for the Derek Chauvin trial ending in a way that the narrative isn't going to Align. If you're not being prepared right now with
you don't even have to watch. I can tell you how it's going to go.
You
it's been planned the whole time.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And it's like, look beyond the veil, see the Wizard of Oz. In fact, the movie The Wizard of Oz is so funny because once Toto the dog sniffs out the guy behind the curtain, and he's like, "Oh, I see that."
Don't look over here. Don't look over here.
Yeah, don't look at the man behind the curtain. Says the man behind the curtain, and I think that's where we're at right now. It's like we've moved the veil, the curtain, and the person knows that we've seen them, but there's still this tethering to the old world, listening to that authority voice of saying, "Don't look at the man behind the curtain." It's so crazy. As I'm looking,
right, there you are.
Yeah. So all these things coming up, and I think for everyone watching and listening and on the replay or live right now, let these conversations with Aaron and I and our guests really meditate on them, sit with them, go back and listen to them, because this content, from what I see on all the people I follow on Instagram and everywhere, is unique. And it is to feed your soul, to awaken your soul, to help you remove the fear out of your heart so that you can come back to the pure essence of your heart, which is love. And in Jeremiah in the Bible, it says that the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And then the next verse says, I, the Lord, know and try the reins and hearts of men. Well, then the next prophet that comes, the next book in the Bible is Ezekiel. And God says, I will remove your stony hearts and I will give you a new heart made of flesh. And then getting back to Jeremiah, the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Above all things, who can know it? Fear is deceitful and desperately wicked. Fear will always lie to us. False evidence appearing real. Always. You cannot come to the truth in fear. You cannot find peace in fear. You cannot find unity in fear. You cannot find health in fear. You cannot find sovereignty in fear. None of these things, none of the virtues that we are looking for exist in fear. However, when we come back to that place of the heartbeat, the rhythm, nature, the song, the dance, the groundedness, nothing can rock us in that. And so, yeah, brother, it's very exciting what we're able to create and share this love with everyone.
Yeah.
So
quite the journey. It's an honor.
It is. That's it.
Responsibility.
So again, you want to just end real quick with who we got coming up again this week?
Yeah, tomorrow at noon, Nick Lightning and Frank Petka. Friday, 10 a.m. is Alex the Comic, and then at noon is Mitzi Purdue.
Awesome.
We'll be posting about it throughout the week and sharing and everything.
It's going to be great. Well, we love you guys. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and we will see you